Hello everyone, I'm Narrowbanks, welcome back to Aston. This is probably going to be the final part for the series. We'll be finishing up the last few races. Hope you've enjoyed, I've had a lot of fun. If you have, please like, subscribe, helps me out a ton. And also another shameless plug here, I will be streaming later today, around 18:00, 6 p.m. GMT plus 2. So if you want to catch me playing the Has Save live, you can get there. It's actually quite good, the Has Save. The restrictions seem to be working. We're not dominating Season 2, so it'll be fun to get into. But enough about that. Let's get into the last three races here for the Aston Martin save, most likely. Let's continue. We have three races to finish here. Just finished Coda. Went pretty good, all things considered. But yeah, let us speed things along. Alonso's contract is running out, but as I said, I think we are probably going to be finishing this save off by the end of this these next three races, so I don't think we'll make any changes to his contract. We'll quickly get performance set up. 1-2 quali should be doable. Both drivers in Q3 be doable. Finish position 1 top 2. Be a bit passive, but again, it shouldn't be a. It should not be a problem or a concern. So yeah. Let's head to Mexico. Here we are, done with Mexican Grand Prix quali. The reason why we're starting a bit sooner, well, earlier than we usually do, is because just to show you how dominant this car actually is in the season, we did this all three quali on the same set of softs. In other words, the soft that we use to set the best Q3 time is the same soft we used in Q1 and the same soft we used in Q2, and in Q3 it still was better than what our opponents could do. 1 run for each one, so 9 laps-ish. But still, it's a bit surprising that we could actually, you know, use one set of soft for the entirety of quali. It's a bit sad, honestly. But yeah, here we are, ready with the race. The softs they degrade fairly quick. It'll take about 10 laps before they are equal to the mediums, who also run 10 laps. And for the mediums to get to the level of hards, it's going to take about 25 laps. So some soft medium setup here is probably for the best. And we do have a high chance of safety car. We do have not the longest, but not the shortest pit lane either, 24 seconds. So honestly, we are probably going to just start on the softs here. Medium to hard. We are going to, because we have a lot of highs to choose from. We have 3 fresh sets of softs, 2 mediums, and a hard. So we can do some pretty amazing stuff if we really want to. So we'll be starting on softs. We'll be going on to mediums. Again, softs will be quicker than mediums for 10 laps at minimum. So if you take that in consideration, 20 laps should be okay. They should still have like a better time than anything else we do. And then if we want to, we can just stretch the mediums a bit and then go into softs to the end as well. And with a safety car in this, it could even be better for us. And this strategy is, as you can see, a lot quicker than the other pre-strategies. This is a one-stop strategy, and it's supposedly 17 seconds slower than a two-stop strategy. So Mexico, soft, medium, soft, if you can make it work, is probably your best bet, at least for our car. And of course, we're going to do the same here for Vettel. Of course, we're going to give him the same strategy, because there's no point in not doing so. And let's see, hit a little bit earlier, like so. 20 laps on soft, 30 on the mediums, and then another 21 on the softs. That should work out pretty well for us. I don't think we'll have a need to overfuel. We could if we really wanted to. It's generally just a benefit. We tested this on stream. But yeah, we are going to go ahead and get the race started. And once again, I think this is going to be pretty much a parade, unless we have some interesting safety cars. We're basically going to just have a parade dash of our cars here. I see mediums on the cars behind us. And a lot of mediums, 3 other cars on the softs, so I would expect us here to probably push pretty far ahead. only concern here would be that Bottas has actually gotten us here on the start.
It's a race position
And we're going to need
Mercedes.
Vettel to just immediately retake that position. Potential rain here, but it's not expected. So yeah, this is a bit concerning, but I think we'll be fine. The thing though is that Bottas blocking off Vettel here is actually gonna cause Alonso to just run away with it to some degree. We could probably slow Alonso down, but already he has 2 seconds to our next car. And honestly, we can just let them run on their own here. The only real concern is, again, just pulling out of DRS, which we already have. With that, we can put our boys back to neutral and just let them basically run this race on their own. And I'll be back when something happens, or when we get a safety car or a pit stop. And I didn't even have a chance to leave there. So you can see Vettel has locked up, which could lead to this race being a bit more interesting. Because we now have
So this was the Aston Martin.
we now have Vettel needing to power his way through the entire field, most likely, due to that lockup. And yeah, he is dead last, as we can see. That's going to be a bit of a rough one, but we'll see here if we can. Can't get Vettel to power his way through. Check switch to interval. And I think he is probably already on the straight here, going to get that Haas, I would assume. Even if it's in a DRS train. Surprisingly enough, Sainz is back here, and I have no clue why.
Looks like Aston Martin have just gained
So,
a race position.
Yeah, we'll see how long it takes for Vettel to just normally, basically, climb his way back up to the front couple of places here. We might need to use some DRS to get the overtakes done in the DRS trains, but we shall see. For now, though, I think it is safe to just speed it up. There's 13 laps until we pit. And since we are one of the few soft runners here, us pitting early will also be a bit of a challenge. As you can see, did lose quite a bit of tire wear from that lockup. About 6-7% compared to Alonso. So he's going to have a bit of a work ahead of him there. Well, I got Sainz, got Schumacher, Magnus at next. And again, that should be doable. It's not really a big DRS train in front. 2 cars. Got Albon now. We switched to Magnussen, and that should be Vettel up into 15th on this straight. Pretty straightforward and simple. We just sent down the opposing cars. Basically, we just have top speed that they can't compete with. Vettel is already, as you can see, 2 seconds ahead, and into a new DRS train to play with. And for this DRS train, I think we are going to have to use overtake. Just use overtake on the non-DRS line, and see if that is enough that we can, you know, push by. And if not, we're probably just going to have to recharge for a couple of laps here, get a bit more energy, give him a bit more to work with. But we're now 5 laps away from the first pit stop, so I wouldn't be too concerned here. And Alonso already, almost before the first pit stop, having generally a full, well, almost a full pit stop in time advantage here, running a bit slow on that last lap by a 10th. But this is, again, the medium tire should be a lot better right now than the soft are. So that is what you'd expect. But yeah, Alonso just running away out front. And I think the time there was, yeah, mainly due to actual DRS. So as you can see, I was still running mainly due to the car about a second quicker than cars behind. And Vettel is really being held up back there, as you can see. So what I'm thinking is that we just go... we could go full on attack, pit this lap. Or Alonso, we're just going to run aggressive, then go attack. Again, don't really need to force anything here. We'll just play it a bit safe. so that we can have Alonso pit into ahead of the train. As long as he's quicker, it isn't actually a negative. And for Vettel here, he's going to come out. Honestly, pitting early isn't a bad strategy for him, because he'll be gaining a little bit of fresh air to play with.
Box.
And we'll be losing some positions for sure. But again, the amount of fresh air that we have behind is probably going to benefit us. We'll probably end up behind Schumacher and Latifi. Well, Schumacher, but not Latifi. 2.5 seconds pit time. And honestly, we can be happy with that. With this, we should be able to get Schumacher fairly quick. And they probably won't pit by the time we catch up to them, but we will have faster tires. Never mind.
So this was the Aston Martin.
Oh, Vettel. Okay, fair enough. That wasn't Vettel's
That's
fault.
the contact there.
He was doing an
there's
overtake on a
chaos
car
on
that
the
locked
track.
up, so... Unfortunately,
The team had such
not
high
Vettel's
hopes
fault.
today.
We
What a shame.
are going to blame Schumacher, though. It's just how it be. Major damage front wing. We are going to have to pit again. We're going to pit him onto the softs. And maybe just do two soft stints here. And that is what we're going to try and do here. I guess I'm going to call this final episode with Aston Schumacher's revenge or something. Because he has been kind of a menace to us in
It's a crash.
the other
And
game.
it's more
But this
than
should
one
just be
car.
again, a yellow flag, no safety car,
Now we
unfortunately.
see the Williams here.
But yeah, it wasn't Vettel's fault, although I initially blamed him.
And there's the hit. And it's crystal clear who was in the
Although
wrong
honestly,
there.
I think in reality, if Vettel or Alonso saw that, they would probably actually manage to avoid it. It's just a shame that it happened the lap after we pitted. Alonso though, we should be pitting him. Should have pitted him early, honestly. It's just thing with Vettel kept me occupied.
Boxing.
So
Yes.
we should have a pit stop ahead here. We should be safe. Vettel is back out. Need to tune down his everything. It is tuned down, and let's set up a new strategy for Vettel here with the pit stops, because 2 sets of softs, are they gonna last to the end? They should, honestly. Just barely. We'll have to see it. If we get a safety car, mediums might be the better choice. Chris strategy A. Then let's edit it. And let's see it. If we go softs, for example, we would be about a second slower than the mediums. So I think we'll go mediums for the final stint, as we did plan. And that'll just give us the flexibility we need. It's just such a shame that it happened immediately when we pitted. Yeah, we shall see here if Vettel can catch up to this now. He has been lapped, unfortunately, due to having to do back-to-back pit stops. But it should unlap himself here now once Alonso gets his pit stop done. And he might even get Latifi. He did. Good. So yeah, I thought this was going to be, you know, standard fare. Easy. But then Vettel had a couple of problems that made it a bit more interesting, honestly. So Alonso, after pit stops, still ahead of the now medium runners. So I don't think we have anything to concern ourselves with. About a minute. 45 laps. Can Vettel make something happen here? Can he make up for that that loss in time to the rest of the field? And again, most of them are going to be pitting in the top here. But then again, Vettel will have to do a pit stop himself. So it is really, can he gain enough time to make it a make it happen? And judging by this, he's doing about 3-second quicker laps. Bottas on fresh, about 2 seconds. Bottas was actually really quick that last one, just a second. But even so, he could potentially make something happen here. We shall see. The main concern that we have is actually just getting through all the cars, I think. That's going to be the big one. And honestly, since we're on the soft, by the time we get through all the cars, we're probably going to need to pit again. Maybe in this case, going the hards wouldn't have been the worst idea. And just try and get track position. But, again, it's a hard one. Alonso has locked up.
Let's see what happened there. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car. They've
Did
locked
the
up,
same
but
thing that Vettel did earlier. But luckily, it seems like he is fine. Probably lost a bit of tire life, maybe. But generally, I'd say he should be okay. He still has, as you can see, more than 30 seconds down to Bottas, which is, again, more than a pit stop. Vettel catching up to Magnussen and the rest is going to be, again, maybe kind of rough. They're all on hards now, so it shouldn't be that problematic. It's just the DRS train is going to be a bit work to get through, I think. Let's see here, if you can get Magnussen now with the DRS. Still not quick enough, so let's give him overtake. And let's see here now if that is enough to just power through a couple of cars in this section. And it is. Got both Magnussen, got Hamilton, and now he's hunting down the rest here. Show fighting. Good. Tsunoda next. Easy. And now it's just Albon, the head of the train. So we can put him back to normal. And that next train, that went far smoother than I anticipated, honestly. And you can just see the speed difference. They already pulled out of Albon's sphere of influence. Albon's what's it called? DRS zone. So we'll have to see it again. We are probably gonna have to make our way through these cars again potentially. So running these tires down low might be the better play. But we shall see when we end up pitting. Give him a bit more overtake. See if we can get Rick before the DRS zone. Put him back to neutral. And that should hopefully be enough to maybe get Ocon here too. Pull the overtake. Might need a bit more energy.
We have low battery.
Did use a bit too much energy, but yeah, we did get them both, but we might be, you know, attacked in return here, and we were by Rick because we had no energy. We're actually getting attacked by both, so I was a bit too aggressive, honestly. It didn't pay off, but we shall allow him to just for a neutral now. See if that pays off. We had a competitive crash. Could this be our chance for a cheap pit stop? Maybe. Sector 1. Yellow. Even if we pit, we aren't going to come out in a good spot, but we could pit onto the mediums now, I think. And that'll allow us to run to the end. We're still going to have to, you know, make our way through the other cars. But it's potentially, I think, going to be worth it. Because I don't think we are going to be able to pull away enough of a gap, unfortunately. Rick crashed, actually. Luckily enough, we are safe. Bit of a damage did to the rear wing, maybe. Potential gearbox, too. But I think he should be okay. Roll with a bit of a spinner. But yeah, we are going to have to do the final pit stop here. We could have tried to hang it out, see if we got a safety car, but again, their tires are going to be fairly low in durability. And that's going to be our hope, that we are just generally quick enough. Did we go on the old mediums there? I think we did. I should have specified. I probably picked the wrong ones, rather than saying that I should have specified. I was probably focusing a little bit too much on other things. Yeah, Alonso's looking good. He has 50 seconds now down to Bottas. Not much we can do there, honestly. But yeah, in terms of lap times, 19.4. No one else is even close to 19. Most are on the 21. So Stroll actually pitting. Magnussen pitting. So we are having some cars here kind of do what we're doing. So that is potentially good. But we also have a very, very scary Rick coming up from behind. And we should be pitting Alonso now, honestly, just in terms of pure pace. Get him onto a new set of softs. Don't really need to push or anything. He is good where he is. And it's going to be interesting now for, again, Vettel's sake. He's had a couple of... one incident was his fault, one incident was someone else's. But he is just kind of flying by everyone now. And up to Leclerc, 12, 17, 20, 30. About 30 seconds, 20 laps. That is going to be difficult, but not maybe completely impossible. We'll see. Up into 11th, 12 seconds now to Ocon. 19.3. 1.5 second a lap. Probably a bit too slow, unfortunately. But we give it a good go. If it's just one lockup that put him on the back, or like the crash later, well, the crash wouldn't have happened if he didn't lock up, so, you know, one incident led to the other. But then he probably would have been a lot safer. And still, Alonso with 45 seconds down to second place is just insane. Sanity. 19-1, 21. I guess we get held up there by Alonso. Okay, this could actually benefit. Nah, we got stuck behind Ocon. We could actually held off. We could actually gain a lot of benefit here from just staying behind Alonso. So what is actually threatening us getting better position with Vettel is just straight up how long we get stuck behind other cars. I guess at this point we can go aggressive to the end. And again, we just got stuck behind Ocon for a lap or two longer than we should have. Getting overtaken by Alonso, getting lapped. Well, at least we didn't lose any like positions, but again, it puts us into a bit of a rough one here.
Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
That's an interesting way to spin, though. Yeah, it's been a rough one for Vettel this race, unfortunately. I can't really do much. Again, it ended up being way more entertaining to some degree than I anticipated, but just how it be. 4 laps to go. I don't think we're catching up to Vettel and Sorry, not Vettel. Paris and Gasly. Or maybe? Potentially. We do have a little bit extra fuel we can push. And this is probably the end of Vettel's potential championship dreams. We don't have enough energy to push on the main straight. But we can go for the overtake now, maybe. See if we can make our way by. Can't really do it. Tire-wise, we still have somewhat of an advantage.
This will be our last lap.
And he did get 2 of them done, but I believe he is still lapped. Yeah, so this is probably the last lap, or what is going to be the last lap, so we might as well go full on attack. And try and secure this. Well, we can go push on fuel too. And try and secure this 8th place.
Well done, guys.
So as you can see, we're lapped basically all the way up to Norris, I believe. Yeah. Norris is actually 2nd. I don't know how that happened.
That is checkered flag, but you can keep...
But yeah, that's a bit impressive.
Thank you.
Not slapping everyone but 2nd. And again, just Norris having a bit of a nightmare. That's a good result for McLaren, though. Mercedes with a 3rd and 7th place. Ferrari 4th and 6th. Red Bulls didn't have a great day, 5th and 10th. And Gasly, the final point scoring position with 9th. Us 1st and 6th. But yeah, Vettel had a bit of a mare. And Alonso said at best with 18 blank. Driver Championship, though, as I said, probably the end for Vettel's championship dreams. It's going to be difficult to catch up unless, you know, Alonso crashes out. 2 races to go. Going to be a tall order. Ferrari drivers switch positions. Russell moves up ahead of Perez, puts himself right between those Red Bulls. And with the 2nd place here now, Lando moves up to 8th position in the championship. Constructors then. Nothing really to report here. Mercedes catching up a little bit on Red Bull. But they still have a huge mountain to climb with 40 points, 2 races. So we'll see how that pans out for them. Point for Hauger, all we can really ask for. And we made a decent amount of cash, but again, it's no longer a concern of ours. We just make too much money. Yeah. Next one, Sao Paulo, 11 days. 2 races to go, new ATR period. I believe we are using everything anyways, so... Nope, we do have a new slot. I wanted to reset our rear wing, I believe was the thing, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to get it in time. So that is why we waited for the ATR period so that I could slap it all into said rear wing. At least that's what I think happened. But yeah, I'm not too concerned about how we do things now, because again, I am planning on ending this save. Because honestly, the Haas game that I'm currently playing, again, kind of bad of me to reference that while playing this save, has been very interesting and very exciting, simply because of the challenges present there. So again, sorry for mentioning it fairly often, but I have enjoyed that game, and I'm looking forward to streaming later. But yeah, Sao Paulo, not that this game isn't entertaining, but it gets really predictable. And that does take out a bit of the fun, honestly. Suspension research has finished. Get a new one going. We're lacking again in acceleration, but we make up for it in cornering. As you can see, we're slower in terms of top speed and acceleration, but we are so good at cornering that the other cars just don't have any chance of just keeping up through the technical sections, and that allows us to really pull ahead. Now we have actually finished the suspension research to just keep it as is. Side pods too. Actually, I finished. If we're going for as is, could need a little bit of research there just to make it a little bit better. We do need a chassis research just to keep it good here, and we are still going to be able to make a gain by doing this, so we'll max cooling as well. Put 6 engineers on it, and maybe we'll be able to do, well, we will be able to at least one more chassis project by the end of the year. We shall see. Okay, race day. I think we are ready. Let us just... That's the wrong one. Just get these things set. Both drivers in Q2 shouldn't be an issue. Quali 1-2 shouldn't be an issue after last weekend, where we again kind of dominated by getting the quali done on a single set of softs. But yeah, let's head off to the next race. Here we are. The end of Sao Paulo quali. 1-2 as we used to. We don't seem to have as much of an advantage on this track, though. As you can see, we're using fresh tires in Q3, and even then, we just barely held on to second place. So, a bit concerning, but I think we're fine. Ferrari, Hamilton taking penalties. Same for Guan Yu Zhou, Magnussen. Yeah, we'll see how this race ends up being. Could be... I'm hoping this one is kind of uneventful, honestly. The other one did take a lot of time yesterday, but so we can get this one done within time spec. So I think we're going to go with what is suggested, medium, hard, and then we'll adjust depending on, you know, strategy calls, and we'll just do the same for Alonso. We have a quick look here on the reports. Fairly decent pit lane, well, fairly average, 24 seconds. Compound performance, again, it's kind of same as like in Mexico. 10 laps for the softs to become as good as the mediums, and for the mediums it's just you know, 3 laps, and then they're done to get worse than the hards. So it's a bit interesting to see, honestly. We might want to try and change up the strategy a bit if that's the case. But I think it should be okay, honestly. Just go with what we're currently doing. What we could change, for instance, would be to get on to the softs, extend the hard stint maybe. But yeah, it's probably not worth it. You can probably just play it safe. Because the stints need to be a little bit longer here to make the hard one work. So yeah, we'll go with this for both cars. We will deploy from the get-go, push fuel. And the goal again will be to just get a gap to the cars behind, and see if we can, you know, get a win by doing so.
And now, it's time for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Be lights out, and away we go. Alonso, Vettel. Is he getting kind of attacked here by Sainz, but I think we're fine. Tire-wise, there are some soft runners, 3 of them, but the majority here is on medium, everyone. So we shall see how that plays out, but the start here is good. We have our cars ahead with a little bit of a gap. And with that, we are gonna just speed things along here. And with the current pace, we're already DRS safe, so to speak. I think we're gonna burn a little bit more fuel. Yellow there.
DRS will be active.
Schumacher with a spin. But yeah, we will tune down fuel usage now, and we'll just allow our cars to run, and we'll see there how we're stacking up by the time we get to the first pit stop.
It's a crash.
We had a crash here, Tsunoda.
Now
We're also getting close to the first set of pit stops. I assume lock up turn 1 and then into the wall.
That crash is terrible news for the team.
Looks like it. Also puncture the back tire. Is Tsunoda still running? Yes, he is. And he's actually kind of blocking us here. Okay, that cost us a few seconds. Let's see it. We have, as I said, another 10.6. Yeah, that cost us a lot, actually. 4 seconds at the very least, maybe more. Let's see if it's... Yeah, so Tsunoda actually crashing them, having the puncture, cost us quite a bit. We're just about to get into the first pit stop here. Gonna push with both cars aggressive.
We're good to push.
Generally, we've been doing okay, but as you can see here, 17 seconds versus 13 for our last one. So we did lose, again, about 4 seconds, but we have been doing almost half a second quicker laps here for the most part. But yeah, it's a bit of a shame what happened there. It makes pitting now a bit more dangerous, so to speak. And we are going to be pitting Alonso first onto the hard tire. And then we shall pit.
Push again now. Okay.
Then we shall pit Vettel next lap. And that should be fairly alright in straight. Can't really, change anything at this stage anyways. So with Alonso coming out actually in third here, the rest are also pitting. So he kind of is getting a bit of free air, which is very good. And we'll tune the tires back down to standard. And we'll do the same thing here for Vettel. And he too should be coming out in virtually fresh air. Mainly because, again, everyone else is also doing the pit stops here. So, not as bad as it could have been. It could for sure have been worse. And I think with that, Vettel is still within DRS. Yes. And we have some changing over to new set of mediums. Majority, actually, I think, changing on to new set of mediums. But, well, half and half, to be fair. But we actually immediately set a new fast lap on hard tires, 11.7. Oh, had a running wide from Alonso. Did he damage something? Minor damage to the underfloor.
Oh, they've run wide.
That's going to be a bit of a pain.
Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car.
But I think we'll be okay.
They've gone wide.
How did that
So
cause
what
underfloor
happened?
damage? Okay, but yeah, as I said, that will potentially be a little bit of a problem for the Alonso. We'll see if he can keep up here and stay within the DRS. I think he should be. And we basically just need Vettel here to keep him safe. Underfloor should make him a bit slower again. We'll see. And now that he's running ahead, I don't think we are gaining. We're actually kind of losing to the cars behind. But yeah, we'll see how things go until the next pit stop.
Oh, there's a spin.
Well, Hamilton did spin too, but we're basically around the second set of pit stops.
Lewis Hamilton involved
Been
in this
very,
one.
except for that, it's been very uneventful.
Nasty spin.
So we're gonna have Alonso just go a full attack lap here. We're gonna go have Vettel go aggressive, and what I'm thinking here is that we'll get Alonso in this lap. Actually, I should have just gotten him in a bit earlier. Get him up the mediums to the end, and as you can see, we have a pretty safe bet here down to Leclerc. Sainz, they're both done with their pit stops. Russell is done with his. Loads of others are basically done. So if we can get out ahead here, we should be fairly safe, I dare say, in terms of victory in this race, unless we have accidents. As you can see, Alonso came out fairly comfortable distance ahead. We'll just put him to standard. That should be enough. Did we not order the pit stop? Guess we didn't. But now we have it for Vettel 2. And we'll see where Alonso comes out in comparison. He'll be coming out ahead. This is what we're used to. Being first does have its advantages. And Vettel is actually right now a little bit behind. But I'm curious because as you know, Alonso does have underflow damage. And Vettel is already catching up, as you can see. So we'll see. We might have a fight here to the end. Vettel kind of getting a little bit stuck there, but Vettel is just slightly quicker than Alonso in the current moment. So could be a Vettel victory. Probably will be. I'm kind of tempted to try and give Vettel a bit of fuel push once he overtakes Alonso again. And just see if that is enough for him to, you know, gain enough distance to get Alonso out of DRS. But it doesn't actually seem to be the case, so we'll allow them to push fuel, push ERS on last lap. And I think that will be what how we decide this race for these two. Yeah, just 8 laps to go. And again, these are fairly short laps there. Magnussen ran a bit wide.
Looks like there's been a lockup.
Yeah, the lockup that allowed him to run wide. And speaking about running wide, Alonso ran wide again. Didn't add to the damage though, so that is good.
That sounds like someone's gone wide there.
But yes, running wide in this area here is fairly common. So yeah, a couple of laps there to go. Yes, we give them both push. Vettel does have a bit more. We give them both deploy. I guess deploy is okay.
Oh, we've had a spin.
And we'll see here now who
So this
comes
is
out on
last
top
lap you can
this final lap. I should
tires.
probably have slowed it down a bit more.
Yeah.
So far, Vettel is ahead, and there's no any real overtaking opportunities here unless Alonso has enough speed, which is doubtful since they're both out of ERS, to get him here on the main straight. Could not pull it off. Vettel victory in Brazil. Ferrari 3-4, Russell 5th, Bottas 8th, Ocon 6th. Bit of a kind of a surprise. Not a huge one, but kind of. Norris 7th, Lewis 10th, Verstappen, sorry, 9th, Verstappen 10th. That is very disappointing for the Red Bulls, I'd say. Private championship here now. Again, if this is actually kind of an interesting one because potentially here we have a draw. And I'm kind of tempted to test it, but I think I'll do that off stream. I'll just make a copy of the save. Because if Vettel wins the next race with fastest lap, and Alonso finishes out of the points, it'll actually be a draw. And again, I'm kind of curious how the game decides that. I would assume it goes on race wins or you know, pole positions, fastest laps. And if so, Alonso will be the champion. So I guess you could say Alonso technically champion, but again, it would be interesting to see what happens if both drivers end up on the same amount of points. I might just make that a short video, maybe. Since it will be fairly short. But we shall see. Driver Championship here. Norris moving up again. It'll be interesting to see if you can get Russell on this final race. Constructors, no real changes as you can see. Red Bull just getting 1 point though. If Merck had a bit of a better race, they would be potentially causing a bit of problems for them here. But I still think Red Bull are fairly safe. Decent amount of, you know, experience gain here. As you can see, Alonso had a whopping 64 successful defense, 24 overtakes, and 26-21 here for Vettel. As you can see, the failed overtake time 63. These two were basically fighting each other the entire race, so I can be very, very happy that they didn't delete each other, honestly. Vettel gets a bonus clause for finishing first, 1.5 million. And that is, that's no concern, really. Okay, next race. Last race coming up in 4 days. Wind tunnel is in poor condition. Might as well refurbish it. Again, we have almost 100 million now. We had 100 million before refurbishment, so money is not really a concern no more. There we are. Final race, Abu Dhabi, both for the season, but probably also for the save, as I've said. So, hoping it will be an interesting one, and I will be saving here before we start the race weekend, just so that I can test what happens if both drivers end up with the same amount of points in first. So yeah, let's get into Abu Dhabi. We're ready with the final race of the season. Abu Dhabi, as you can see, Sainz actually managed to get himself placed between our cars, which is, you know, good. The Ferraris, I guess they've had decent development this season with that. But there's a lot of penalties there to go on. Red Bull, the only Red Bull in the top 10, gets a penalty. Perez just barely making it, you know, he made it into Q2, but he couldn't make it out of it. Like, this is kind of disappointing to see. All 5 in the back are taking penalties, which again, final race of the season, no reason not to. Magnussen, Ricciardo, Albon, all taking penalties. Ocon show. So it's going to be an interesting field there for sure. But the main part that is going to be interesting, at least to me, is to see what happens between Vettel and Alonso. If Alonso doesn't finish, Vettel finishes the fastest lap, we might get a, you know, an interesting one where they both have the same amount of points. I will force that to happen in a separate occasion. I have a backup save from before this race starts, so don't worry about that. Tire wear, softs will be quicker than the mediums for 300s, they degrade 300s more per lap, so they'll be faster for 10, 11, 12 laps, then they'll start losing performance. Hards, on the other hand, 5/10 difference, 400s of difference from medium to hard. Mediums will only be quicker for hard then for about, again, 5 laps, then the hard starts weighing out. In terms of hard to soft, 700s, it doesn't even take 10 laps here before they start to really lose out. So having 2 sets of hards here on this track would also be beneficial, honestly. Consideration for the pit lane, 25 seconds, again, kind of average, not really a big concern. And with that, let's set up a strategy here. We could do a one-stopper medium to hard. Again, it's kind of risky. You would be running below what is expected. Starting on the soft, going hard, then medium is probably the better choice here. And that is exactly what we'll do for both our cars. And we'll push. Well, we'll go overtake and deploy. Because, again, we do need one overtake from Vettel. And we'll just deploy from Alonso. I think that is good. We are starting with max fuel here for this race. So can't really overfuel either. So we won't do it. But this looks good. Let us get started. See where this final race of the save takes us.
Hold on tight. It's the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go.
Lights out, away we go indeed. Vettel, are you able to threaten Sainz? Looks like it. Sainz is on mediums. There are some all soft runners, 5 of them to be exact. But generally, the rest are running medium here. A couple of fresh softs in the back with Rick, Mag, and Albon. So, not a big surprise there. But again, we are out in front. There is a bit of a gap down to Leclerc already.
Copy.
And this looks like another case of we're just going to run away. But you can see that how quick Leclerc is already compared to Sainz. So, it shouldn't be this quick maybe. But the softs are definitely the play here. So yeah, let's just speed things a little bit up. And I think we will go back to neutral here on the ERS. And honestly, we can just go balance on fuel as well. Just to be safe, because again, there's nothing really to be worried about. And with that, I'll allow the boys to continue here, get things done. And we shall see if there's any interesting incidents before the first set of pit stops in around 8 laps. We've had a crash on track, the clear spin.
Let's take a look at the replay. Watch this.
That also the crash. Let's see.
What a spin out.
Does not look like it, so we also had a different crash in the same situation.
Yellow exit of 6. Yellow exit of 6.
Magnussen has crashed, turn 1.
All eyes on Kevin Magnussen here.
So Looks like he's still going then, since we didn't get a safety car. And he is, so yeah. Bit of a little bit of interest there. Vettel and Alonso are still just switching positions, so we'll see if they can keep it clean this race too, like they did in Brazil. With that, we'll speed things along here. We have a fairly decent gap in now, 7 seconds. But we still want a bigger gap than that before we pit in about 5 laps, if possible. Here we are. We're getting to the first set of pit stops. We're going to be pitting Vettel first, on virtue of him being first, as we cross the
So we're happy to let these tyres cool a bit.
the line here.
Okay.
So, as said, we'll have Alonso, sorry, not Alonso, Vettel do the first set of pits, and then we'll have Alonso do second. And there were some other pit stops going here, so we'll see exactly where we come out. So Vettel comes out in 6th, unfortunately behind the trio there. And we'll see here where Alonso manages to push his car into. Vettel, though, is still already making moves. Alonso didn't actually pit. Forgot to set up the order, I guess. That is my fault. Might as well just push these tires then, push a bit of fuel. But that is going to lose him a lot of time, I think. Unfortunately, we'll see where he comes out compared to Vettel here. But I would assume a bit behind. Or actually, came out kind of a bit in front. So, kind of made it work. But again, now we do need to get some moves done. Or rather, we could potentially just leave them be. The soft runners here, sorry, not soft runners, medium runners here. I don't know exactly when they're going to pit. But I would assume that, again, our tires are quicker. Vettel now, Alonso, 4th and 5th. Alonso moving up to 3rd, 2nd. And let's see if Vettel can do the same.
Let's take a closer look. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car.
I think he gets both here on this one, actually. Nope. Maybe getting the Alpha then into the next corner.
Get past, which moves them up a position.
Looks like it is going to just power through there.
That was a big moment.
We have some very happy people in the garage, but yeah. Vettel here is going to have to try and do the same thing before Alonso runs away, and he kind of has.
Like
And again, we are gaining quite a bit there on signs, as you can see, almost a full 2 seconds. So we shall see how this plays out. Again, for Vettel, it doesn't matter really how the race goes to a big degree. He needs Alonso to not finish. So we'll speed things along, see if we have any more incidents down the line. There was a yellow flag there. Science Pits is now out of the way.
I think there's been a lock
And with that, let us speed things up again. We've had a crash here. Good old Schumacher had an accident.
Safety car, safety car.
And I think we're just gonna... We could pit here. We actually have more than enough time to get the pit stops done. We have a quick look here on exactly how long we estimate. 14 seconds under safety car. So should be good for both of our cars here to pit. The question though is, do we want to pit? Is there a point in pitting? Because what would happen is basically that we do this. We don't have an extra set of hards. If we had an extra set of hards, we would just pit on that and go to the end. But we do not. So what's actually going to happen if we pit now is probably something like this. That's the wrong tire. There we go. We'd have to go in the mediums, and then we'd have to go onto the softs. Potentially a bit quicker. Potentially give us that little bit extra pull on the restart to get away from the hards. But yeah, we are, as I said, also still going to have to pit once more. So we could pit under safety car, then go onto the softs at the end. Could work. Would it be better to delay this pit stop even further? Nope. Doesn't look like it. Do it a bit quicker. Basically around what there would work. So I'm thinking we get both cars in. Get them onto the mediums. Alonso, again, it's a shame, just recently pitted. And we'll get them onto the softs around lap 45. Might not work. Might not work at all, honestly. But I think it's better to just take advantage of this and get that free pit stop, because let's face it here, we are going to have to pit again. I think. I'm pretty sure that we do. Even if we do play it kind of slow here, it's just quicker to pit again. So we'll do this. We won't lose too much time since, again, we're pitting on a safety car. It's supposedly 8 seconds slower than our current strategy. But I'm pretty sure that strategy doesn't actually consider the fact that we are currently under safety car conditions. So, if we take that into our, again, consideration, we should be quicker. Schumacher with a crash on turn 6.
There's Schumacher. A definite collision there.
Didn't really look like he braked, locked up or anything there. He just sailed. Bit of a double stack here. I think it was actually kind of perfect. Vettel just barely had out ahead, but that is beautiful. That's actually what we wanted. So I'm just gonna... You don't really need to do this. We can just keep them at neutral for the ERS. You don't really need to put them on to conserve, but you can do it if you feel it's better. I just do it because muscle memory at this point. But yeah, there are one fresh hard runner behind us. Science is definitely going to go to the end. But the goal there is, again, just run away with the mediums. Don't allow the cars in front to, you know... Sorry, not the cars in front. The cars behind to catch up to you. Get out of DRS. And then we just run away to the end.
Yeah, copy.
Let's see how this restart goes. I think we are fairly safe. We don't really have any accidents usually happening on the restart. And there we go. Already, gap is starting to form. And I think we will be within this lap. Outside of DRS. And we are. So, gonna allow a bit of extra fuel to be burnt. Just gonna help our team a bit. Tune down ERS here. And as you can see, 2 seconds of a gap has already been built. Keep this up. And we should be able to
is enabled now.
very, very happily here get that second pit stop done safely. So once again, let's speed things along. We've had another crash on track. Red flag. Okay, that's kind of brutal. What actually happened here?
Red flag, red flag.
Both of our cars are safe.
Now just focus on the Haas.
They crashed in that final corner and slid back onto the track. So that is basically acceptable for a red flag, I'd dare say. And with this, we are going to be switching on to... See, there's 20-ish laps to go. I think we can go medium to the end, honestly. It's either that or we slap on the hards again. I think we'll just slap on a fresh set of mediums. And that should work out for us. And we'll do that for both. And I would assume that is what most other teams are going to do here too. And then we'll see where we stand in terms of getting to the end on those.
Where we left off as the race restarts. And it's lights out.
Okay, here we are. It was, of course, Latifi in the Haas. He had to get honorable mentions at the last race of the season. Well, honorable, dishonorable maybe. But current situation here, we will go deploy. The tires, in terms of their life, will last to the end just barely. So if we want that to happen, we can't really burn fuel. But I'm thinking that burning fuel for a couple of laps here just to get away should be acceptable. I wanted to actually do this. And Sainz on his softs, Bottas on the softs, Hamilton on softs. I don't think they make it to the end. No way. So it's going to be a bit interesting to see how these strategies actually play out. We've had a spin here on the restart. Looks to be Ocon, I would assume.
That's a spin! Let's take a look at the replay. Now have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon.
Been unfortunate there. Basically takes him out of the points. But yeah, we'll see how this works for the soft runners. Again, if we just barely can make the medium work, I don't think they have any business of hoping the soft work. I assume most of them will pit again before the end of the race. Okay, go neutral on ERS here. We'll still push fuel for one more lap, just so that we have a safe gap. Again, we do actually have a semi-safe gap right now. Actually, we don't. Sainz is closing in on us. which is quite impressive. I think that DRS is helping him though. So
Sounds like a spin.
the Ferraris are actually going to be potentially a bit of a problem here for us. Ocon with another spin, unfortunate. Yeah, if the Ferraris keep on changing back and forth, they're actually going to be, again, a problem child. We might not be allowed to pull down on the fuel usage due to it, because they would just close us down immediately. So it could be a Ferrari strategy where they pull Sainz along with the help of Leclerc. But yeah, we have been closed in on here, and I don't know what we want to do in terms of trying to run away. Because, oh, Vettel is out by the looks of things. Fortunately, we have a safety car. No fairy tale moment here for Vettel. He is out. What happened?
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car. We can take a look now. Let's have a look here. This was the Aston Martin.
Bit of a jerk, and then immediately...
Ooh, a nasty
Ooh,
crash there.
that could have potentially been a red flag, though. He had hit one of the Ferraris on the spin. But this does put Alonso in a really good position. I don't think he will be pitting him, though. Not a good enough position for him to pit in. I still think he has what it takes to just run away on the restart. Especially with the way things are going now. We'll save a bit of tire wear. So
Okay.
he should be fine. But yeah. That makes Alonso champion. But by unfortunately having his teammate crash out. Which is fairly unfortunate.
We need to retire the car.
Copy. Safety car will be in this lap.
Safety car in this lap. We'll go standard. We'll go push. We'll go deploy.
Okay, energy's good.
Okay.
We'll see how this restart of ours goes. 12 laps to the finish. Can the Ferraris cause us any pain is going to be the big question. Tiny bit of tire advantage for Leclerc. But yeah, this might also allow Sainz to stay out on those softs and still make it to the end. Looked like a little bit of a lockup there, honestly, from Leclerc. I was kind of scared he would take out Alonso. Yeah. I think it's going to be difficult to break the DRS here, probably. Oh, maybe not. Maybe we got a little bit of a freebie there.
I think we've had a car run
With
wide.
Leclerc running wide.
Let's take a closer look. Okay, here's the Ferrari. Going wide like that.
That's going to put him pretty far back, isn't it? All the way to the back of the field. That is unfortunate. Alonso sets new fastest lap. We have a safety car. What exactly happened here? Paris has crashed.
We've had a crash.
Bit of an
Let's have a
eventful
look.
final
We're
race
just
here.
watching the Red Bull. Dear me.
Just couldn't make the corner. But yeah, with that, again, we aren't going to be pitting. I understand a lot of people do want to pit. We'll see where Sainz ends up.
Energy's good.
I'm surprised Bottas, Tsunoda didn't pit either. Sainz going on another used set of softs. I'm curious seeing how AI strategy is actually going to work out in this this race here. There's going to be, what, 8 laps left at the end? Basically, yeah, safety car is ending. We have all the energy, fuel that we could ever need. And now it's Verstappen that is actually looking to attack.
Pick up
Tiny
the
tire
pace a bit.
advantage, but yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me, I think we got this. The Chris Liftenko. But yeah, safety car ending soon. PM. There we go. Looks like Alonso got a decent launch here from the perspective of Verstappen. Need to remember that the Red Bull isn't super good anymore. Verstappen actually got a better launch there. He caught up a bit. But yeah, Red Bull isn't as good as it used to be. First couple of seasons, it's actually kind of bad now. Especially considering that they've scored just a few points over the last couple of races. But that could actually help out Alonso here quite a bit. Because running out of DRS then should be a lot easier. And it looks like Norris took Ocon's job of spinning. But yeah, Alonso's already broken the DRS. Put him down to neutral for now. And we'll see if he can actually just run this to the end. It's going to be a good race for Merc though. 3rd and 4th, potentially. It could definitely cause some problems for the teams they're challenging.
DRS enabled.
But we'll see. They're going to have to hold on to their positions to make that happen. But looks like it's actually not being a problem. Show is going to be their challenger. And Tsunoda actually pitting with just a few laps left to go. Yeah. That's not a great strategy. We'll see. Leclerc is back in the points. Sainz is just outside the points. I'll have to see if they can do something about the train they're in up into Rick in 6th. Just a couple laps now to go. But it looks like Alonso has virtually got this one in the bag. Show has also overtaken both the Mercs. Bottas running virtually destroyed tires. Multiple cars crashed. It's just the yellow one. Magnussen is involved for sure. Stroll involved, helping the Ferraris out.
Let's see what happened there. Okay, so there we have the Alpine.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, they touched tires. That is unfortunate for those two, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting here to see how the rest of this race goes. I think Show, honestly, too, even though Bottas is running, you know, wasted tires behind him,
The last lap.
would have preferred a safety car. So I guess we're going to be watching, for this last lap, the fight for 3rd. The AlphaTauri versus the 2 Mercs. I think that would be an interesting end, I guess, to this race. Unfortunately, to this series. It would have been more interesting if Alonso crashed out, honestly, and Vettel had a chance to get the thing done. Unfortunately, what happened, so I'll test that a bit later. Yeah, honestly, I've had a lot of fun playing this challenge of mine, the old guard, but honestly, it hasn't been super exciting. Last couple of seasons, we just developed a bit too quick. So I'm hoping that the next few campaigns, saves I do, are a bit more interesting. But Show is holding up great here. We are getting into the last few corners. And honestly, I think what is happening is that Bottas is more or less holding Russell up because he is now running very, very weak mediums. And honestly, I'd say
Checkered flag.
they should have given Russell a chance to hunt down Show. But Show 3rd. Will Sainz get 7th? Sorry, 6th? No, he got 7th. Leclerc 9. So they tried for sure. But Tsunoda pitting at the end, that was kind of a disappointment. Alonso wins yet another race. Fastest lap. Verstappen, 2nd place, making up for some of the disappointments they've had. Show, a surprise podium for AlphaTauri. 4th and 5th from Merc. 6th from McLaren. Sainz 7th. Albon 2, surprise for AlphaTauri. Again, kind of a weird race, probably why. Leclerc, Hamilton finish out the points. Driver Championship then. Bottas jumping up 2 places here at the end. But Show also moving up 1. But other than that, nothing more. Almost doubling his points. So it was a good one. Alonso here with 12 wins, got 19 podiums, 17 pole positions. Vettel, 9 wins, 18 podiums, 4 pole positions. Generally a very, very good season, all things considered. Constructors, we have AlphaTauri overtaking Alfa Romeo with just a single point there due to both Albon and shows driving in this last race. Let's see. I believe. Okay, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Yeah, Albon finished 10th, show 3rd, and with that, they actually beat out Alpha. Pretty good. And most likely at the end of this save. So, with that in mind, as I said, I think I'm going to end it here. If I do end up continuing it, we're going to continue from this point. Again, it's been a very, very good time, honestly. But it is unfortunate that it's so easy to get onto the top of the other teams. Thank you from Alonso for winning. Hauge has some development points. I'm just going through this quickly. Cyril Clement, Technical Chief, is very happy with our leadership. Fernando wins Driver Championship, yeah. But yeah, as I said, it's unfortunate it's so easy to get into a dominating position in this game. So I'm looking forward to streaming Haas mainly. I might have been a bit rushed this episode or this part, and I apologize for that. But again, it becomes very routine and to some degree boring with the amount of domination that we did. Among them, you know, the pole position with just a single pair of soft for all three qualify sessions. But yeah, we'll see what we do in the future. We might revisit this Challenger mine with some restrictions, because it is making the current Haas stream a bit more alive. The next series that I will do is probably, again, the Canada Challenge. It's been cooking for months now. But again, I will probably stream a season more with Haas before that begins. But with that in mind, I hope you've enjoyed this series. It's been fun making it. Again, got a bit stagnant here at the end, unfortunately. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you have. And I'll be streaming later tonight at 6 PM GMT +2. So come by and say hi if you want to see how the Haas Challenge is going. I'll be streaming tomorrow as well, around the same time. So again, hope you've had a nice Easter. Hope you've enjoyed the series. Thank you very much for following it. Please like and subscribe. And I shall see you next time. Bye bye.